unsolved murders in Kenya today. The dark truth behind Kenya's high-profile cases, Part 1. Mboya, a vision snuffed out in 1969. Mboya was no ordinary politician. He was Kenya's brightest star, charismatic, ambitious and relentless. He was a statesman who believed in unity and progress. But on the 5th of July 1969, everything changed. Mboya stepped out of a pharmacy in Nairobi CBD only to be gunned down in broad daylight. The assassin was quickly apprehended, the motive shrouded in suspicion. Mboya's rise to power had ruffled feathers among Kenya's political elite. He was too popular, too influential, and some feared his vision threatened the status quo. What vision and what influence? Mboya worked alongside John F. Kennedy and Martin Luther King to create the Kennedy Airlifts, which enabled East African students including Wangari Maathai, Barack Obama Sr., father to Barack Obama. In 1960, this influence earned him a spot on the cover of Time magazine. His murder sparked outrage. The trial of his killers raised more questions than answers. Was this a lone act of violence or a carefully orchestrated political elimination? Those closest to Mboya believed the conspiracy reached the highest levels of power. Mboya dreamed of a united, prosperous Kenya, but his dream died with him. The question remains: who silenced Kenya's brightest hope and why? Robert Ouko, a diplomatic scandal in 1990. Robert Ouko was the epitome of diplomacy.
I am satisfied that it is the wish of the French government to assist Africa in implementing the resolution 435 in order to avoid further bloodshed in Namibia.
A man who carried Kenya's reputation on the global stage. But in February 1990, his charred body was discovered near his Koru home, a bullet wound on the head confirming foul play. This was no accident. This was an execution. Ouko's death came just days after returning from Washington, D.C., where he had been part of critical talks. Rumors swelled of tension with members of President Daniel Arap Moi's cabinet. Some say he uncovered corruption with the government, secrets too dangerous to reveal. A chilling revelation surfaced years later. The Parliamentary Select Committee report revealed that Mr. Ouko was forcibly taken into a government car, driven to the State House Lodge in Nakuru, and tragically killed there. The report also claimed that his bodyguards were mysteriously withdrawn beforehand. In a disturbing twist, the delay in announcing the discovery of his body was allegedly to give time for it to be moved to his home and burned. The official investigation pointed fingers at powerful individuals, but it hit a wall. Key witnesses vanished, evidence was tampered with, and the case was quietly shelved. To this day, no one has been held accountable. Was Robert Ouko silenced for exposing the truth, or was his murder a product of internal rivalries? The answers remain buried, along with the diplomat himself. Julie Ward, a tourist nightmare in 1988. Julie Ward came to Kenya seeking adventure, but what she found was unimaginable. In September 1988, the British tourist remains were discovered in the Masai Mara, a place renowned for its beauty now forever stained by tragedy. Officials claimed it was a tragic accident, but her injuries told a different story. Julie's father refused to accept the official narrative. With private investigators and forensic experts, he unearthed the truth. Julie had been murdered, but why? Some believed she stumbled upon a secret too dangerous to know. Was it poaching, corruption, or something even darker? To this day, the Masai Mara hide its secrets, and the question remains: who killed Julie Ward and why was her death so carefully covered up? Jacob Juma, the whistleblower's fate in 2016. Jacob Juma was a man unafraid to speak truth to power. The wealthy businessman exposed corruption in the highest offices of government, fearlessly naming those involved. But on the 5th of May 2016, his fearless voice was silenced forever. Juma had relentlessly criticized the government, linking top officials to the Eurobond scandal, which involved billions of stolen funds. He knew he was a target, even predicting his own death on social media. When it came, it was no random robbery. His valuables were untouched, and his death bore the marks of a professional hit. Despite public outcry, the investigation stalled. Evidence disappeared, and justice faded away. Who silenced Jacob Juma, and what truths died with him? Juma's murder wasn't just an act of violence, it was a warning. But who sent the message and why? Chris Msando, the Keeper of Democracy, 2017. Chris Msando was a man on a mission. As the ICT manager for Kenya's Electoral Commission, he held the key to ensuring a free and fair 2017 election. But his body was found just days before the polls, tortured, lifeless, and discarded like a warning. Msando had promised transparency, but his resolve made him a threat. Was his murder an attempt to rig the election, or a sinister act of revenge? His death cast a shadow over the polls and left Kenya asking painful questions. Chris Msando believed in democracy, but he paid the ultimate price. Who silenced him, and what were they so desperate to hide? This is Ginyokie, uncovering the tides of truth. If you found this story compelling, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more mysteries from the past and present. Together, let's seek the hidden truths.